Today, we're going to talk about reinventing yourself so that you can become the woman who can achieve her goals. I have been pursuing goals since high school days, and I have achieved most of them. And I have so much more that I want to achieve in the future. And in my life experience, the biggest lesson I have learned through reading books, through my own experimentation, through mentors is having identity based goals instead of outcome based goals. For example, health. I want to lose 20 pounds, which is an outcome based goal, versus I'm a healthy person, which is identity based. And you might think, what? What does this being a healthy person have to do with the goal? And I'll tell you exactly why that is. A healthy person's default is to eat healthy, to exercise, take care of their body. Their default are the actions that would lead to the outcome that this person who wants to lose a 20 pound is seeking. Do you now understand what I mean by identity based goals versus outcome based goal? And another thing is when this healthy person slips up and they get out of their default way of eating, they feel so uncomfortable. They immediately self correct because who they believe they are and their actions are not matching. This other person who wants to lose the 20 pounds, their default is to eat unhealthy, maybe to not exercise, to not take care of their body, hence why they want to lose the 20 pounds. And eating healthy, exercising, and taking care of their body is like when the person who's healthy slips up. Do you see now? These two people are not going to have the same struggles. One feels so uncomfortable doing things that are not in alignment with their identity, eating junk food, not exercising. So they self correct. Versus this person, their self correction is to eat unhealthy. That's what their default is. So when you're trying to eat healthy, exercise, you always go back to your default. So you have to unown, release the identity of that and take on the identity of this person so that the actions of working out and exercising, taking care of yourself becomes part of you. And yes, you will slip because you're a human being, but because you will feel so uncomfortable, you will self correct. And that is the difference between identity based goal versus outcome based goal. Now let's get to the nitty gritty and the process of achieving your goals. Number one, we gotta define what success looks like. You cannot achieve your goals if you don't know what they look like. You cannot hit the target if you don't know what the target is. You cannot get to a destination if you don't know where the destination is. And this is how we treat our lives sometimes. And it's funny to me because we wouldn't do that otherwise with simple things. Like if we're getting to our car, we're already thinking of a destination where we're going. There is an intention behind what we're doing. You put in the destination and the GPS, or boom, you get there. And it doesn't matter how long or how short it takes you because eventually you will get there. But what about our lives? If we have such intentionality in the little things, why can't we do in the big things? So let me not get sidetracked because number one is defining what success is. And once you have that, we're going to go to the next step, which is identifying the action steps that will get you there with the identity and outcome based goals. Once you have identified that you are a healthy person, then you know the actions a healthy person does. You list them out. I'm going to eat healthy. How many times a day am I going to eat? 3 meals, 2 meals, snacks, no snacks. You identify all of these things. How many times a week am I going to work out? Where am I going to work out? What kind of workouts am I going to do? You're going to answer all the W questions: what, where, and when. Once you have that down, we're going to move to the next step, which is setting up your environment to support you because change is not easy. And if somebody tells you otherwise, I'll just be honest right now, they're lying to you. They are lying to you. To change is not easy. But you know what? You came to this world through hardship. When your mom was giving birth to you, she labored. That is hard. As a mom, I know what labor is. So For you to come around and say, I cannot do hard things, it's like a slap to the face to your mom. You can do hard things. You can change habits that are hard. You just have to persevere. You have to do these steps that I'm telling you. And the same things that I'm telling you are things that I'm also doing. Because I do believe that I can do hard things. And I am telling you, your beliefs shape your world, your perspective. If you believe you can't do hard things, you're right. You won't be able to do it. But that's not my belief. My belief is I can do hard things. Hence why I do hard things. And that is my truth. If you came to this world through hardship, that alone should tell you that you are capable of doing hard things. And your belief and the mindset that you have, it's what's getting in the way. It's not your capacity or capability. It's the belief system. So again, let me get back to my point, which is setting up your environment so that it supports you in achieving the goal that you want. I'll give you an example of this. When I started taking supplements, I would take magnesium glycinate at night. And I kept forgetting. So I've decided, you know what? I'm going to put this thing on my nightstand. So when I'm going to bed at night, it's right there. I can see it. And honestly, that was the most consistent I have been with taking magnesium glycinate. Every night when I'm going to bed, I'll just grab it, take it, boom, go to bed. However, because I have little kids and they come to my room, I can't leave it on the nightstand. So I'm going to put it somewhere else. And that's what I did. But during the time that it was on my nightstand, I never skipped a night. I would take it every night because it's not something that's out of sight, out of mind. It's always there. I can see it. All I have to do is just take it. It takes me 2 minutes. So think about with your goals and with your action list, what do you need to do? How do you need to rearrange your environment to best support you in achieving your goal? Number 4, track your progress and identify hurdles. It's important that once you decide I'm going to work out 3 times a week, 2 times a week, you identify the action steps that you want to then track it. Because if you don't track it, you will feel bad about yourself when you're actually making progress. Or you will feel good about yourself when you're not making any progress. Our feelings are not real data. You need real data to tell you whether you're on track or not. And that's why it's important to track. There's so many different ways to track your goals, but the one that I have found to be the best thing ever is a physical calendar, like the month calendar. You can post it on the wall and you can write down and check your goals as the day ends. Before I used to measure other ways, but this one is the best one. Physical calendar where you can see it every day is the best way. I've actually done it in July to test it out and I loved it. It was so easy for me to go check off every day. And the days that I don't, because I want to be 100% transparent, there will be days where you will come short. I won't let them go to waste because those are the days for me to identify my hurdles, the things that get in the way of me achieving my goals. What is it that I need to do better, right? And I would ask simple question. What happened today? Why didn't I do what I was set out to do? What was out of the norm today? What got in the way of my goal today? And it was easy to identify. That's exactly how I found out how important meal prep is to me. Because when I don't meal prep, it makes it harder for me to stay healthy. And that takes me to my next step, number 5, which is minimizing friction. Once you know what your hurdles are, what gets in the way of you achieving your goals, because you will throughout the month. If you miss one day during the first week, and you miss another day during the second week, and you miss another day in the third week, you will see a pattern of why, what gets in the way of you. You will see a pattern just like I did. And now you can figure out a way to minimize that friction. And for me, minimizing that friction is to make the process of meal prepping as easy as possible so that it gets done every week. So that I eat healthy every week. You can do the opposite in this step for the habits that you actually want to stop. For example, social media apps, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. I have noticed I spend a lot more time than I would like on them. And initially, I found a solution, which is to delete them. But as somebody who creates content and puts them out, it wasn't a sustainable solution to download and delete. So now the solution I had to maximize friction so that I don't spend a lot of time that I don't want to spend on these apps is I have an app, a paid app, that locks up all my apps. I give them specific time throughout the day, 24-hour window to lock my apps, and it keeps it locked. It gives me 15-minute breaks. I can take as many of them as I want, but, and this is the beauty, I can't just randomly click on the app and open it, click on Instagram and open it, click on TikTok and open it. I have to go to the app to unlock it through the app. When I click on the app, it gives me 7-second window to consciously be aware and make the conscious decision that I want to click on break time so that I can spend time on social media. And during that 7 seconds is the window to make a conscious decision. And this is backed up by science. There's a delay between our actions that we do and when the brain, it's 7 to 10 seconds. And they even use this 7 second rule in marketing to make good impression with their products in the first 7 seconds of people or customers coming across them. So use these tools for your benefit to either maximize friction so that you get rid of the habits that you don't want to do anymore, and minimize the friction so that you continue and make it easier to continue the habits that you want, and that will get you closer to your goals. Number 6, which is the last step, is to reward yourself. Why are we doing all of this hard work if we're not going to reward ourselves, right? So decide how you want to reward yourself. Do you want to reward yourself on a weekly basis, or do you want to reward yourself when you hit a mini goal of the big goal? You get to decide, and you get to decide what you want to reward yourself with. Typically, I like to reward myself with things that I really, really, really want to do so that I'm going to do them and I'm going to do them happy because I have achieved what I needed to do during the week or 3 months or in a year. And that holds me accountable because it pushes me so that I achieve it by the time that I want to do that thing. On a weekly basis, on Mondays to be specific, I have this little practice where I reward myself for working so hard the previous week. And then whenever I achieve a goal, I have something at the end of that that I really wanted to do, that I was looking forward to it, and I allow myself to fully enjoy that. So yeah, that's the process of reinventing yourself so that you become the woman who achieves her goals. And I gave you the 6 steps that will help you actually achieve your goals. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next video.